Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Art Side of Life, where it's all about how you can turn your creative passion into a profession. My name is Eva, and my guest today is a self taught freelance illustrator and digital artist based in the mountains of North Carolina, United States. She loves evoking feelings with art, and she specializes in character art and portraits with fondness of color mixing. You can watch her process videos on YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon. Her work has appeared in Image.FX, Advanced Photoshop, and cross-genres. In 2017, she has successfully launched her Kickstarter campaign for her third art book, Turn a Soul, full of her colorful artworks, so go check it out. And please welcome Geneva Benton, also known as Gdbee, and let's get to the interview. So welcome, and I'm super happy to have you here today with us and taking time from your busy schedule.
Thank you for having me here to do this.
So cool.
It's really an honor.
Oh, super nice. And I would like to start maybe with a question from your childhood or background. Did you always knew you wanted to be an artist?
No, I actually just wanted to play games for a living until about 8 or so. And then I thought, well, I can draw a little bit better than I can play games, so let's go for that. Yeah.
So, and which were kind of like biggest decisions or turning points what you had to do in order to get where you are now?
I think it's I moved to Asheville, North Carolina for a job. I got hired for a job, but like a couple of days later, I was pre-hired. I don't know the right word. Like they were looking for me for another job at the beach, like at Wilmington, North Carolina. So I had to choose between the mountains and Asheville and the beach. But that would have been really different because right now I live in the mountains. And if I wouldn't have chosen that, I don't know if I'd be freelancing now and maybe not have met my fiance or anything. So I think that was the hugest turning point, I think.
So
Yeah.
that was meant to be.
Yeah. I'm actually scared of heights and I prefer the beach, but I don't think it could have gone any better. Yeah.
If you don't go drawing, on some cliffs, then it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of cliffs, surprisingly.
And so, do you remember like the first or some of the conversations you had with your parents or someone close to you, when you said like you want to take art professionally?
I think they actually encouraged it for a while. I think my parents had a little bit of doubt because who wouldn't doubt their child when they say they want to be an artist? Because you always hear about starving artists and such. But they actually, I think, nurtured it quite a bit, and I'm really thankful for that. So, yeah.
That's really nice. And how did you choose the school then? Was it for in the area or something, you like someone else went to that school?
Oh, I actually didn't go to school. Well, I actually dropped out of community college because
But
I
how did you choose, like where
oh,
when you because you were on the high school and then you were thinking
oh
like, okay, like what do I do next? And like did you decided I want to go to this school and then just to leave to pursue your art, or how did you do it?
oh actually yeah it was actually a school in our town that I was living in, which is Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It actually has a really good animation what's the word? Wow. It has a
Program?
really good animation class. Yeah.
Yes.
And I wanted to get into that, but it kept getting full actually. So, and I wouldn't be able to actually complete it for another couple of years, like 3 or 4 years, which,
Wow.
yeah, I wanted to move now, so I had to skip out. Yeah,
So
but
so
they actually have a really good class.
so what was the job you moved for?
T-shirt designer for um, it was a company called Tiltworks, and they designed a lot of T-shirts for Disney of all companies and the Disney parks and like Ron John and other cool stuff like that.
Yeah, and so now you see also all of your works on people's t-shirts, and how do you kind of, what goes through your head when you see someone in a real life or somewhere when they have your design on?
Wow. Um, just wow. Why I'm so grateful they bought it, but I wonder why they bought the shirt. Like, what made them buy it in a good way? I mean, like, what connected with them there?
Yeah, do you
And
sometimes talk to them?
not, I haven't found a person in real life, but I do ask online. They show me pictures, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And I ask why, and they just say, well, I just really like it, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, that's super awesome, to see that. It's just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and so when you decided to do the art and or kind of pursue the career, was there someone who inspired you, or did you have a mentor?
I wish I had a mentor. Actually, I was reading a comic when I was 14 or 15. It was called Orange by an artist named Benjamin Zhang,
Hmm.
and that his art style is absolutely gorgeous. It's so painterly, it's so emotional. There's so many colors. There's like 30 times the colors I could ever do, and that's I think reading that is when I realized I want to do this too.
So now you have so many colors in your artwork. Is there a like a process or the inspiration which comes from maybe nature or something around you? How do you choose the colors maybe?
That I get asked that question a lot, and I really don't have an answer. I know that sounds lame, but I'm just like, well, I like this blue. Let's put it in. Oh, this blue looks nice with this yellow or something. I don't really have a method. I'm sorry that's so shallow sounding, but I don't really have a method. But I've started drawing like a lot of plants and flowers. They're like scribbly plants. They're not like in depth, but I live like right in the middle of a forest, so I think that's influencing me a lot. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's really like really pretty always how you put the colors together. And so do you, when you start creating a piece, is it that kind of you decide the colors before, or when you are creating it's like, oh, this color feels right, so I put it in there?
the latter. I just drew uh, sorry. Um, I do a sketch, and afterwards I just play around with the colors and see what works out with it. Like if I was drawing maybe like a spacey theme, then obviously I'm just gonna go towards purples and such. But if it's just a portrait or something, I don't know. I don't know the colors. I just play around until it feels right.
Yeah, yeah. Because there's some other artists as well, like they have the same process, so it's
Yeah,
like more kind of coming out of your emotions or something around. So that's
that's a good
interesting.
way to put it.
Yeah. And so I noticed that you have a lot of characters like with drinks and these like maybe fruit and these colorful things.
Yeah,
What is your favorite drink?
it's hard. I think a really good ginger ale.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back. I just discovered black tea lemonade combination, and that's the best drink ever.
Ah, I
Yeah,
haven't tried it. I have to
it's
try.
really good together. You wouldn't think it'd be good together, but the lemon balances out the black tea taste
Huh.
perfectly.
That sounds really cool. And when you think about like the vision or something, how you create your drawings, is there like an overall message you are putting in all of your drawings?
Not really, no. It's like all the fruit and drinks and stuff you mentioned. It's just stuff I like at the moment. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I'm drinking a soda. Let's draw this. it's it's just there's no rhyme or reason. It's just what I think is cool at the moment, and let's just draw maybe a cool girl wearing cool stuff with a cool drink. And yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
basically inspired maybe from things around you, what is happening,
yeah,
and yeah, like real
yeah,
life. Ah, that's
yeah.
really cool.
Thank you.
And when you are creating projects now, and you mentioned also freelance work and a full-time job, how do you combine your incomes, or what is your main income maybe? Like
Um,
the source, like percentage split or.
okay, let's see. I think it's 40% print sales, which I'm very grateful for because I've heard it's really hard to do. Another 40% is commissions, and the other 20 is just random, not random, it's just other things like Patreon
Hmm.
that I'm doing, and I'm at a gallery in Asheville called Zapal, and I get random commission from that, and
Oh, nice.
odds and ends, yeah.
So, and how did you find, for example, the gallery? Like people wondering when they want to go to gallery or they want to be displayed there.
Yeah. Actually, when I moved in to Asheville, I'm not actually living in Asheville anymore. I live further out in the mountains. But when I moved there, I went with a coworker and we were just discovering downtown and we just saw this really cool contemporary funky museum and it felt like I'd belong because there's a lot of museums and art galleries where it's very fine art
Hmm.
and such, and mine is like most of digital. The stuff I post is mostly digital, so it's nice to find somewhere where, well, maybe this won't feel out of place. Yeah,
And so, how did you do it? Did you just walk in there and then you talk to them, or what did you
yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah. I just walked in, and
And
they're like, okay,
and what did you say?
oh, are you looking for artists? And I think they said they're just generally always looking for artists and just put in your info and they'll see it and they'll add you to the list and such.
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, thank you.
And now when you are like growing your community on Instagram as well, so you have so many followers. And how do you do the networking? Do you also I saw that you also went for some event where you can sell the art prints.
Mhm.
How do you do the networking mostly, or how do you get noticed?
I think it's a lot of word of mouth. I try to post at least once a week. Sometimes that doesn't happen. So it's really infrequent posting and such, which they say to keep up to keep going in social media. But I think most of mine is actually word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
From like, I think that event you're talking about is Anime Week in Atlanta, which I
Mm-hmm.
go to every year, and that actually helps get a lot of the word out just by being there and other such things.
So,
So
and how do you choose the events? Is it something you have the closest in your area, or which are maybe the ones you would recommend for people to go?
it's actually a mixture of everything. It's relatively close. If it's relatively close that you can drive to, and yeah, if it's a good show and I need help at these shows,
Mm-hmm.
and the people that helping me, mostly my fiance, he actually can't go most of the days that the really gigantic or really great cons are. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
So
that's
that's how
most.
you choose. Okay.
Yeah,
And now you also you mentioned that you are doing the Twitch, right? That's the live streaming.
yeah. I just started Twitch, but I've been doing it a little while. It's actually pretty fun to do. In real life, I have a hard time entertaining people or just talking to people or anything. But over Twitch, where it's just you have to type to talk and just draw, I think it's a lot easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ah, but I mean that's amazing because then so you basically you draw something and then people can put the comments and then you can communicate with just some messages.
yeah. It's great. It's all live and usually when I'm there, I'm just looking. Well, maybe people just like to look at my process. Maybe they have some critique, which I would really prefer or enjoy is some critique.
Mm-hmm.
But like even just people showing up is great. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how is it different from like Instagram stories? Because I think you can do that there too, like live streaming.
Really? I didn't actually know that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Because I was
I'll look
just
into that.
yeah, I was just wondering like how is it better or maybe why artists choose the Twitch instead of Instagram stories or uh, I don't know.
I think, well, my stuff is digital, and I don't think, the Instagram, you're supposed to actually be taking real pictures. and maybe that's why. And with Twitch, you could just hook up your screen.
Ah, okay. So you,
Yeah,
so you are showing the screen actually.
yeah, I'm showing the screen.
Ah, okay. Because I never tried it, so I'm thinking. Yeah.
It's it's actually it's not that hard to set up. I think for just a screen, but I think if you're doing it in real life, you have to set up an actual camera and have it streaming. Yeah.
And how do you kind of design your day or week? How do you plan ahead when you have like so many different projects?
Let's see, like starting the day or like
Yeah, yeah, or how your day looks like, or do you work from home or from studio or
it's all from a home, and to keep up with everything, because I'm very forgetful, um, like super forgetful. I actually have a whiteboard putting down every single thing that I'm doing for the week or the day, and making sure I mark it down, and also putting it in my phone in case I don't write it on the whiteboard for some reason, and just making sure to put all the priorities in place. Just because I know I won't do that if I don't force myself to do that. So yeah,
I have to have it as well. I mean, I forget everything.
yeah.
But
I'm glad you know my feeling.
for sure. And I'm sure many people have the same. Like, if you don't write it down, then it kind of just
Yeah,
disappears.
yeah. It's gone.
And so you have a like whiteboard, and do you also have some digital tools which kind of simplifies your life? Some program or something you bought, maybe?
Actually, well, not for my daily schedule, but taxes, especially in the U.S., is a really big pain, and so I use Intuit QuickBooks, which made my tax life so much easier because it just automatically archives and takes down all your purchases and such, and puts out a form and almost fills all your taxes for you. And that saves me so much headache and time because I can't keep up with receipts or anything.
But
So
that's really good advice because like people when they want to start the like freelance career, they don't really think about the taxes
yeah,
and they have to do it themselves.
yeah. The taxes part was actually the part I was dreading the most because it's a lot higher if you're self-employed. So, but that helped me so much. Yeah,
Yeah, we will put it in the show notes for people to check it out, so
yeah,
they need to
that'd be
try.
great.
And is there something you wish you knew before you started your career?
Um, there's a lot. Don't try to be perfect, I guess. Which it sounds very cliche, but I actually struggle with that. Starting freelance last year is that I got frustrated because I couldn't get this. Um, let's say my Patreon, I couldn't get my Patreon where I wanted it to do all the things I wanted starting out and such, and or I couldn't get this or I couldn't get that, and I got a little bit frustrated. So, but I've learned to take it a little bit easy. And one other, I have two. Um, don't stress out too because it actually can affect you and your health. So actually, when I was actually still at Tiltworks, I was stressing so much about some of the job and some of the art on the side that I was doing in my free time that I actually, uh, like my eyes were actually going bad. And if I was still stressing out that much, I could actually be maybe blind and such.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, it was a lot of stress, but don't stress out. It's just art. I mean, it's art is great, but it's not life or death, and you'll just get better, and things will be better. Yeah.
So, how did you overcome the stressful situations?
I think while Tiltworks, leaving my position at Tiltworks helped a lot because then that's one stressor gone. And in freelance, I actually raised my rates a bit, which means taking a little bit less work and being a little bit more selective, which I hate turning people down. I really do because they just want their art drawn, and I understand that. But it helped me a lot in coping with the day. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to balance your work and life and just not
Yeah.
to be sick from working too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned that the hard way.
For sure. Oh my God. But it's so good that now you are like more balanced and everything works better.
Yeah.
And so, how do you now? What is your self-talk when you are thinking about like what to say yes and no to projects? Also, aside not to take too many projects, but is there also something else you are thinking about?
Well, is Meyer gonna add something that they're really looking for? Because some commissions, it's just, well, can you design maybe a banner or something, but it's not gonna help them. Maybe they'd like it, but it wouldn't actually help them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I was working for like maybe a small business and they need a cover and this is their debut, and
Yeah.
then I thought, oh well, I want their debut to be like extravagantly great. So yeah,
Yeah, because now you were on some other like magazines. You were on cover for a few magazines already, right?
yeah.
That's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's unbelievable, to be honest.
And how does it normally happen? Do you contact them or they contact you, or how is it?
I think they contact me mostly. Again, I think they hear about me from word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they mostly just contact me.
Yeah, I mean it's so cool.
Yeah.
And when kind of if someone wants to do the same what you do now, or kind of what would you advise them to start with?
Um, well, start with pencil first,
Mm-hmm.
pen and ink and paper. I know I do most of my stuff digital, but I'm actually trying to carve out time because I bought a bunch of paints and a bunch of canvases, and I'm just trying to just sit down and paint with actual paints because I miss it. But start out with pen and paper. If you want to do digital, then there are actually really cheap tablets and such now that you can draw with, and just go in kind of slow. Don't try to get the best of everything. Go in kind of slow and see if you like it, see if it's working for you first. Yeah.
And do you learn now also from real life? Do you go maybe for live drawing sessions or some observations in nature?
Yeah, actually, one of the second reasons why we went to Savannah is because I could take a bunch of photos of for reference of the architecture there
Mm-hmm.
and the trees and just the nature. And we go on walks, me and my fiance, quite a bit. And I just snap photos and just stare and try to bring my sketchbook to sketch it out too. I could be doing more people, but I'm trying to actually bring up my landscape game because I've been doing a lot of portraits
Mm-hmm.
lately. They're my favorite thing to do mostly, but I really need to branch out more from that. So yeah, that's one of the ways I'm doing that right now.
Ah, okay. So, and then when you take a lot of pictures, do you build some kind of library in your computer? And when you are creating something new, you pull it out?
That's what I'm trying to do. I actually ordered a cork board or a bulletin board where I can just print out all the pictures and just put them all there
Mm-hmm.
of all the things I snapped. Or there's a cool reference photo, then just try to put it on the board so I can just see it every day. Because if it's on my computer or my phone, I'm gonna eventually forget about it, or I'll drop my phone or lose it, and all the reference is gone. And so it'd be better to have a physical.
Yeah, yeah. And do you also use like a Pinterest for board references or not so much?
Not so much. I tried Pinterest. I can't get into it. It looks really cool, but I couldn't get into it. I'm not sure what I'm doing.
I think like everyone needs to find like what they like the best, right? So maybe that's not for you.
Yeah, just a physical Pinterest. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And do you have like some online go-to resources? What do you love?
Um, like for freelance or just for art in general.
Maybe something would like, yeah, maybe in general. That's good.
I really actually Tumblr a lot because I follow a lot of art blogs and photography blogs. Occasionally some funny blogs just to break it up a bit, but they post a lot of different artists there, and you can just keep scrolling and scrolling and find new artists, new stuff that you like,
Mm-hmm.
new, yeah,
So
yeah.
do you think you spend more time on Tumblr than on Instagram, for example?
No, I actually don't spend much time online, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just mostly I just post and run because I have 5 minutes to post something. Let's post it, and then come back and see all the comments and hopefully try to answer them then.
Yeah.
But I usually stay offline and draw,
Mm-hmm.
and because if I keep going, I'm not gonna get anything done, to be honest.
That's true.
So yeah.
So how many drawings do you do usually per day, or how long does it take you to do one drawing at this stage?
I'm trying to get faster. Usually something like a headshot or a portrait would take maybe 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to something more detailed like a landscape, maybe a couple of days. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a little bit faster so I can get my ideas out more because a lot of it I actually do halfway and then suddenly don't like it anymore. It's taking too long and I just scrap it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, if I can just get faster or just be more invested, then I'd have a lot more art finished.
And like when you are doing these digital portraits because that you are more comfortable with, right? And
Mhm.
do you have a like special brushes you are using only now, or is that because some people are wondering like, oh, now I have to do like, or I have to have like 20 different cool brushes, or
Yeah.
do you have like personalized brushes you use over and over, or how do you do it?
Um, no, I actually just use the default Photoshop brushes. Mostly just the round one and I think the splatter one. I don't actually know the names. I just think they're called the hard round and splatter brushes.
Okay.
I could be using more, but they've just been really reliable for what I'm doing right now. So yeah,
Yeah, so you mostly use like two brushes.
yeah, just two brushes.
Oh, cool, cool. Good to know because then, like if someone is wondering, like, oh, how does she do it? It's like, oh, only two brushes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're making like foliage or something, maybe I'll go and hunt for a really good foliage brush once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't buy it, then I'll credit the person who made it if it's free or something. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's mostly just those two.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. And so you also mentioned like the when you were getting stressed out from work, going back to the career.
Mm-hmm.
Is there would this be as the worst career moment you had so far, or was there something else you would like to share?
Last career moment. Um, I think that might actually be it. Just the stress and just the stress and actually a lot of health problems from the
Mm-hmm.
stress. I think were just the career moment, the worst career moment.
So what would you advise then young people to like as the main takeaway?
Um, Chill out and slow down, and it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
I mean that's amazing. That's yeah, definitely really good advice. And do you have like a quote or a like motto which you would put on a sketchbook? Would this be this?
No, that wouldn't actually be it. I hope this doesn't sound like opposition of the other of what I just said, but I think the quote is by Neil Gaiman. I heard it somewhere else, and I think he actually originated the quote, but it's just do good work.
Hmm.
Just do good work, and everything else will follow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but also chill out. It's okay.
So good, do good work and chill out as well.
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense. And we talked about a bit about the Muka book. And is there some other books you would like to recommend? Some like people need to read this.
Oh, there's a lot.
You can recommend more.
Well, there's a so the Spectrum books are really, really good. They're, I think it's a yearly anthology
Hmm.
of, I think both traditional and digital artists, and the I think it's Figure Drawing for All It's Worth,
Mm-hmm.
which I think everybody says it's a good book, but it actually is a really good book to study from or just take notes from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's kind of like a classic, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you read Drawn to Life?
I haven't actually.
I
I
think that
keep
one is
seeing it.
also good.
Oh, yeah, I'll check that out then. I
Yeah.
keep seeing it everywhere. I just haven't actually looked at it yet.
And do you have also like a favorite movies or like documentaries you would like recommend to people check out?
I think the movie Ponyo by Studio Ghibli. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's visually a masterpiece because there's so many amazing backgrounds in it, but they use zero straight lines, or there are no straight lines in the whole entire movie, and
Yeah.
that I just find that really impressive. It gives it such a stylistic and but balanced look to it.
Yeah.
It's just really fun to watch.
And when you also like now mentioned like books and movies, is there other like motivations or kind of inspirations which keeps you going?
A lot of different artists online that I really wish I could meet in person. um, like I think Anna Dittman is one. Um, her art is absolutely wonderful. Her portraits are absolutely gorgeous. I'm so sorry if I'm not saying his name right, but a Korean artist named Hyung Tae Kim, and I super apologize to him or anybody that knows who I'm talking about. I'm not saying it right. He has a really, it's his artwork is very stylized, and Benjamin Zhang, who I said earlier, just all the colors and all the emotion. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And because you also all of your projects has like these amazing colors, and can you share maybe some upcoming project you are the most excited about, or something which is happening now?
I'm actually thinking about doing a Kickstarter for my next art book, which it might actually be out by the time this is done.
Ah,
By the time this
cool.
comes out, yeah. Um, it'll be because I did a lot of art this year, and it's gonna be kind of a thick book with a couple of tutorials, a couple of sketches that I haven't actually shown anybody, and other things in there, which I can't. It's so big that I can't get it done by myself, so I have to turn Kickstarter to get it finished.
Oh, so nice. And so, do you plan to have it like hard printed, or and how many pages are you planning? Do you know already?
At least 80, and it'll be soft cover. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I know so far. But it's full color, full bleed, at least 80 pages, full stuff.
Ah,
So
cool. So some of your new artworks and the art process as well, and
yeah,
super nice.
excited.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's super exciting. But so when is the Kickstarter coming, or is it September or
It might actually I might actually be doing it next week.
already? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I actually it's stuff from this year, a few classics from a couple years ago, and stuff that's never seen before. And I've just been chipping away at the actual layout this entire time. So actually, all I need is a printer, maybe reformatting it a bit to fit the printer, and that's it.
Ah,
Yeah,
wow, so cool. So we'll have to put the link into on the website as well for you.
thank you. That'd be great. Thank you.
That's awesome. And so we are looking forward to see this, and probably when the interview is out, then this will be already there for everyone to get. So
Yeah, hopefully,
encourage everyone to buy it.
hopefully.
And so, if you kind of imagine yourself in a 5 years, and like you have this dream scenario, where would you be, and what would you be doing?
I'd be some small town in probably still in North Carolina, but I'd be traveling a lot. Just if I had infinite money, I would just keep traveling a lot, sketching along the way. That'd be great. And that's kind of what I'm trying to build up to, saving money here and there to at least travel out the country a little bit, to explore and broaden some horizons and something. Yeah,
So, where would you go?
probably Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about Spain, but everything I keep seeing looks absolutely amazing.
I think you would like, Barcelona and the park. I think it's Park Güell, when everything is like
Yeah.
crooked and colorful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I want to go.
So I think that you would definitely like. And maybe what I would like to, end with, like the question about the future and thing. It's like, what would you like to be remembered for in 100 years?
Uh, Good question. Colors. Probably just colors. Yeah. That seems to be what people remember me most by, and I would be even honored to just be remembered at all, and if for anything, then just colors. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that as well. I'm all about colors. I love colors.
Yeah. There's millions. Why not just use all of them?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And so I'm really happy that you took the time to join us here. And if you have like a parting piece of guidance, before we say goodbye for everyone.
Probably just chill out again, find out what works with you, and eventually you might not feel like you're doing it now, but you will, because like sometimes even I feel like I'm just not doing a good job, and everybody just gets that feeling. It's normal. It just means you want to keep going in art. So yeah, parting words.
Yeah, amazing. And thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I really amazing. It's great.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know in comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel for more videos because I post new interview every single workday. You can also find the resources mentioned in this episode at artsideoflife.com. Just type a guest name in the search bar. There is also a little freebie waiting for you, so go check it out. If you want to listen to the interviews on the go, make sure to check out the podcast episodes at artsideoflife.com/podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and don't forget to inspire each other. I will see you guys in the next episode.